Yes, we're doing it again. Roll up, everybody, gather, come and join. One man went to mow. We're back at it again. Yes, we are back at it again. The grind never stops. One man went to mow. The afternoon session commences, and all you need then to do is come and join. So come and join if you are chanced. I know that it is short notice. I only put up the notice about 10-15 minutes ago. But nevertheless, if you're just strolling around on the computer, looking for something to while away the time, come while away the time with us here. All matters Nigeria related. This is what we discuss, and your participation, of course, is what makes for the magic of the mix. So come put the magic sparkle into the proceedings here by coming to participate. One man went to mow. We commence again. The afternoon session, of course, an interactive session, as I often say, and an open microphone session as well. So the interaction takes place via you coming or on stream to come and tackle the talking points of the day. And then you come on screen to tackle the talking points of the day by clicking on the hyperlink that I've just posted now that says StreamYard. So if you clicked on that StreamYard hyperlink, and then you'll be straight on the screen, by the way, you will not be straight immediately on the screen, of course, because I have to let you onto the screen. But you will be then in the waiting room, in the green room, to be brought onto the screen just as soon as I've read out the talking points. So that essentially is how it works. An open microphone session, as I said, and the open microphone, the StreamYard, as I said, an interactive session, your participation, a crucial part of the proceedings. So first, let me bring you. Actually, let's start as we usually start with the rendition from the K guides, because I know that a lot of you will feel that the session is not complete without the K guides or ushering us in. So to the K guides to uh, usher us in, one man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Only water. Oh yeah, let me see go. Water, only water where they see ma. Water. Oh yeah, she go for me gaga. Yeah, me. Water, 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 water. Water, only water where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Look like Emma. Hapa you don't come o. You dada. Hapa o naido. Ẹkún ní naido. Ẹjọ́ padà sílé. Kájọ́jọ́. Oró kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Oró kẹ̀kẹ́. Ilé sọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Oró kẹ̀kẹ́. Bọ́bí màsà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Oró kẹ̀kẹ́. Chifu Fáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Ó ti yájọ́. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdóde. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdóde ó jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdóde. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Gbé bọ́dì ẹ̀ gbé. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ. Petro Sodana ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ. Petro Sodunke ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dìle o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Ìgbàlà ti àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní rí wa gbéṣe o.
And there we are. Iku Koniriwa Gbeshe by the K Guides. So it's just a three headline session this time around. So Iku Koniriwa Gbeshe, as guys, I bring you this. Human rights group, Serap, drags Buhari to court over illegal plan to monitor WhatsApp messages, telephone call. So, police state now, we are not even entering a police state. We're fully ensconced in a police state now. This just like Hitler moves that we're seeing in Nigeria, shutting down Twitter, monitoring people's WhatsApp messages, monitoring for monitoring for phone calls, supervising editorialship in news platforms and television stations and radio stations. So a police state now we're fully ensconced in. It's not even now we're turning into a police state. We are fully now a police state. Again, human rights group Serap drags Buhari to court over illegal plan to monitor WhatsApp messages, phone calls. So now we find out exactly what is going on there. Nigeria's unity negotiable, just as marriage is negotiable. Buhari's appointed minister to Niger to Chad, rather, Kingibe speaks. Kingibe, of course, a lot of people categorized as one of the cabals. He is bracketed as one of the cabals that pull the strings of this now Aboke Nasorok, and this is what he has to say. Nigeria's unity negotiable, just as marriage is negotiable. Buhari's appointed envoy to Chad, King Gigwe. So we find out exactly what he is playing out there. So we have been saying that this guy should be at least acknowledged by the FCC in some form and acknowledged, so he has been. Pandora Papers, Nigeria's anti-graft agency EFCC investigates ex-vice presidential candidate Peter Obi for questioning, not investigates but invites. Let me give you that again. Pandora Papers, Nigeria's anti-graft agency, EFCC, invites ex-vice presidential candidate, Peter Obi, for questioning. So to EFCC, he goes as well, because I'm not sure that, you know, that should be the case, but that it still is the case. And this is something that we have suggested on this platform too, that should this guy be visited by Ibrahim Bawa? But it looks as though, is it Abdul Rashid Bawa? I can't even get the words in the right sequence today. So it looks as though visited by Abdul Rashid Bawa, he has been now. So Peter will be now answering questions at EFCC HQ. So all of that we go to, but first let's come in then via a little bit of I usually go to Igbo music, but let me go to Habat Ogunde this time around, just to ease us into the fullness of the session. So to Habat Ogunde, Eze goes to school, about Gunde, Habat Ogunde goes to London.
Kì í ṣòro bí ewé.
And there you are. How about Ogunde in London? So quickly to it, then we might just wrap it through this. Human rights group Serap drags Buhari to court over illegal plan to monitor WhatsApp messages, phone calls. Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project Serap on Friday filed a lawsuit at the Federal High Court in Abuja against President Muhammadu Buhari's administration over plans to track WhatsApp messages. The suit, according to Serap, was necessitated by the proposal in the Supplementary Appropriation Act signed in July 2021 to spend 4.87 billion naira to monitor private calls and messages. It added that the amount is part of the 895.8 billion supplementary budget approved by the National Assembly. In the suit, Serap prayed the court to declare illegal and unconstitutional the plan by the administration to track, intercept, and monitor WhatsApp messages, phone calls, and text of Nigerians and others as it severely threatens and violates the right to preservation of privacy. Joined in the suit as respondents are the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, SAN, and Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed. In the suit, numbered blah blah blah, Serap sought an order of perpetual injunction restraining President Buhari and other authority persons or group of persons from unlawfully monitoring the WhatsApp messages, phone calls, and text messages of Nigerians and others. The body further prayed the court to declare that any monitoring of WhatsApp messages, phone calls, and text is oppressive and draconian, stating that it violates some section of both the Nigerian law and international laws. The plan to monitor WhatsApp messages, phone calls, and text messages is an arbitrary interference by the administration into respect for family and private life, the home, and correspondence. It also fails to meet the requirements of legality, necessity, and proportionality. Serap added. The body argued that the Buhari administration has legal obligations to protect Nigerians and others against arbitrary interference and violation of their human rights. It further stated that the monitoring of WhatsApp messages, phone calls, and text messages of citizens would grant free rein to government agencies to conduct mass surveillance of communications of people. Serap is also arguing that the mere threat of mass surveillance, even when secret, coupled with lack of remedy, can constitute an interference with human rights, including the right to privacy, freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and association. Privacy and expression are intertwined in the digital age, with online privacy serving as a gateway to secure exercise of freedom of opinion and expression. Therefore, targets of surveillance would suffer interference with their rights to privacy and freedom of opinion and expression, whether the effort to monitor is successful or not. The suit was filed on behalf of Serap by its lawyer, Kolawole Oluwadare and Kehinde Oyewumi. It reads in part, the powers to conduct arbitrary, abusive, and unlawful surveillance of communications may also be used to target political figures and activists, journalists, and others in the discharge of their lawful duties. Any spending of public funds should stay within the limits of constitutional responsibilities and oath of office of public officers, as well as comply with Chapter 2 of the Nigerian Constitution relating to fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy. The lack of any safeguards against discriminatory decision making and access to effective remedies shows the grave threats that the purported plan poses to constitutional and internationally recognized human rights. Section 37 of the Nigerian Constitution and Article 17 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights provide for the right to freedom from arbitrary or unlawful interference with privacy and correspondence, communications, and private data. Section 39 of the Nigerian Constitution and Article 19 of the Covenant also guarantee the right of everyone to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impact information and ideas of all kinds, regardless of frontiers and through any media. The United Nations General Assembly has condemned unlawful and arbitrary surveillance and interception of communications as highly intrusive acts that interfere with fundamental human rights. Interference with privacy through targeted surveillance is designed to repress the exercise of the right to freedom of expression. Surveillance of journalists, activists, opposition figures, critics, and others simply exercising their right to freedom of expression would lead to violations of other human rights. Targeted surveillance creates incentive for self-censorship and directly undermines the ability of journalists and human rights defenders to conduct investigations and build and maintain relationships with sources of information. Serap is also seeking the following relief: a declaration that monitoring of WhatsApp messages, phone calls, and text of Nigerians and other people is inconsistent with the principles of legality, necessity, and proportionality and amounts to threat and infringement on the rights to private and family life, access to correspondence, and freedom of expression, and the press guaranteed under Section 37 and 39 of the Nigerian Constitution. So it goes on to cite all manners of laws. A declaration that the act of the defendant budgeting 4.87 billion naira of public money to monitor WhatsApp messages, phone calls, and text of Nigerians and other people is unlawful and a violation of the rights to private life and family life, access to correspondence, and freedom of expression and the press. An order setting aside the budget line of 4.87 billion naira to monitor WhatsApp messages. So essentially that is it. It then just goes point by point, then asking the court then just to halt and then reverse that policy position of the draconian Buhari administration. Nigeria's unity negotiable, just as marriage is negotiable. Buhari's appointed envoy to Chad, Kingibe, Nigeria's envoy to Chad and the Lake Chad Basin region, Ambassador Babagana Kingibe, has said the unity of the country is negotiable. He stated this during the Sun Newspaper 2020 Award in Lagos on Saturday. The former secretary to the government of the federation said even the union between a husband and wife is negotiable. He, however, informed separatist agitators that the land they reside in would not be carved out and taken to anywhere else if the country breaks up. I was born in Nigeria. I was groomed in Nigeria. I believe in Nigeria. People of my generation believe in Nigeria. We have no doubt about the fact that we have no option but Nigeria. However, I think that a few of my colleagues believe that the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. Of course, it is negotiable. Even the unity of a family is negotiable. Even the constitution of husband and wife is negotiable. The moment either party feels this union is no longer bearable, that he or she would rather go his or her way, you help them to sit down, consider their condition after a careful and rational examination of the pros and cons of how to be married, that they take the decision that will best suit them. When we when we ever say we want to go away, I do not think they realize when we ever say we want to go away, I do not think they realize the going away. It is not that you carve out the piece of land, take it up and put it on some side of Ghana. The piece of land will be there. You will be here. Everybody will be here and we all want to prosper. My appeal to everyone, please let us be respectful of one another. Let us not demonize one another. Let us respect the views of others. Kingibe, who received the newspaper's Lifetime Achievement Award, advised those seeking to leave Nigeria to consider the implications. Are you sure where you are going? Are you sure of the consequence of where you are going? Do you really feel that the grass is greener on the other side? If you do, sit with your partner in respect and in mutual respect and in love if possible, but without demonizing your husband or wife because you will always remain the ex of the other person. But discuss quietly so that even if you separate in the future, you can interrelate with love and respect, he added. So there you are, King Gigbe now departing from norm of the usual speak that we hear from his quarters, that Nigeria is indeed negotiable. So we round it off with this one. Pandora Papers. Nigeria's anti-graft agency EFCC invites ex-vice presidential candidate Peter Obi for questioning. The former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, whose secret and illegal offshore activities our correspondents reported in the ongoing Pandora Papers series, has been summoned for questioning by the EFCC, Nigeria's anti-corruption agency. It is the first known action by any Nigerian law enforcement agency since correspondents started reporting influential Nigerians involved in offshore shenanigans exposed through the global Pandora Papers investigation. The presidency has directed that Nigerians exposed in the reports be investigated. Those with knowledge of the directive have been told those with knowledge of the directive have told correspondents. The correspondents learned that the EFCC communicated the invitation to Obi during the week, and he has been asked to report at the agency's Abuja headquarters on October the 27th to face investigators. Sources separately said the invitation is in connection with revelations in Pandora paper report. The report exposed how Mr. Obi incorporated offshore holdings which he did not declare to the Code of Conduct Bureau when he served as a governor, and how he continued to manage his next international UK limited 14 months after becoming a governor. In addition, he also continued to operate a foreign account as a governor. All these actions, which had been secret until exposed, were in contravention were in contravention of Nigeria's laws on code of conduct for public officers, correspondents reported. Mr. Obi has, however, continued to claim no wrongdoing. However, a source at the anti-graft agency said the Pandora Papers revelations only serve as a lead for investigators and that a number of issues are now being investigated regarding Mr. Obi and his offshore dealings. Exact details are slow to emerge. Apart from Mr. Obi, acting NPAMD Mohammed Bello Koko and former minister and serving senator Stella Odua have been reported in the ongoing Pandora paper series. Others included Governor Abubakar Bagudu of Kebbi State, Governor Boyega Oyetola of Osun State, as well as his associates, including former Lagos Bola Tinubu and Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun. We also reported the offshore links of children of former NSA Sambo Dasuki and billionaire Leno Adesanya. It was learned that President Muhammadu Buhari has requested relevant law agencies, including the EFCC, Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, and the Code of Conduct Bureau to investigate all Nigerians whose secret, many times suspicious dealings were exposed in the Pandora Papers. It is not clear if the EFCC's action on Mr. Obi is connected to Mr. Buhari's directive. However, a source said the anti-graft agency's investigations would be extended to all persons reported with links to the Pandora Papers. It is an ongoing gradual process, the source said, asking not to be identified. And there we are. That's just the sum total of it. So, Vin, we see you. Good to see you. Are you there, Vin? All right. I thought Vin was joining us, but it looks as though no
Yes,
one.
yes, I'm here, please.
All right. Good to see you, Vin. So now let's start with your man now, your homeboy Peter Obi. So now in Kirikiri in ESS facilities, eating towards Shinkafi. What says you?
Man, I thank you so much and good afternoon. One man for appearing today. I've been away for some time now, so I'm happy to be around.
Did you go to the village? Did you go to your farm? Where were you?
I went to my farm in the northern part of Ghana, in a place they call Binaba village.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. People go to their farms. All right. So I hope you had a good time there.
Yes, I in fact I had opportunity to take care of my cattle and things like that.
And to tell off the workers and whatnot. Huh?
Exactly. At least have a rub down with them. Rub mind together with them and know what they are passing through and things they lack and provide it for them. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Good to have you back. So to your man Peter Obi, this Pandora Papers, the man that forgot he had $15 million tucked away somewhere. So EFCC are now wanting to. This guy was running scam parallel to being governor, and people will come here and tell us that it's holier than thou, but $15 million are tucked away secretly somewhere. Peter Obi, EFCC, Vin.
Yeah, you see, one man, I do not know much about this issue, but I had the privilege of listening to him when he was being interviewed. Is it in Arise TV, a few days ago or so? And most of the declarations he made there, proved that to me that he's innocent of the allegations accused. I want to believe that if there is any wrongdoing, the law must take its course. That is my position. But would
you concede that you are prejudiced in your view, Vin? You've been an Igbo man, and Peter Obi being an Igbo man.
No, I am a proponent of justice on anybody, even if it comes from my worst enemy, my brother. You see, I will be. He is innocent until proven guilty, though. But if there is any foul play, I will support his prosecution and let justice be done, even on those people, where it pains me, where people raise eyebrow when things, people are being hunted down in this manner, is that there are other plethora, accusation level on this government and support all kinds of things that is happening, especially the terrorism that is happening in Nigeria. But when you look at it in such a way that a government is bent at targeting, those they consider as enemies, it's an injustice to me. But I also heard him on Arise TV or show or channels or so when he said that the law permits him to declare, investment that he solely owned, not jointly owned. That is what I heard them say. But most of the businesses that were outside were businesses that he acquired even before he became the government, jointly owned. So if that is the law, that you have to declare them businesses jointly owned, and he refused to do that, well, let the law take its course, my brother. I have nothing to say about that.
All right, but that's not quite what the law says. The law requires you to declare all your assets. That's the one thing. And the law frowns at a sitting functionary of our government running a foreign account. That is another thing. And him packing monies offshore. That is another thing. And then he was running these offshore accounts and these offshore businesses whilst simultaneously sitting as the governor of Anambra State. That is another thing. So they accused him of having $500 million tucked away somewhere. I said, no, I don't even have 3% of that. And then he just plucked a figure out of thin air and say, 3% of that will be 15 million. So I have 15 million tucked away in offshore accounts. So a lot of it shady and shrouded in mystery, and the FCC, of course, asking him to come and clarify. So the room next to Nnamdi Kanu, would you say, Peter Obi, to be eating to watching coffee in Abuja?
I believe that I believe in justice. I believe in justice, and I believe also that the law itself will, he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. One man. In this case, like I said, I do not know what the law says about joint businesses that is owned by a serving political office holder. I do not know how, because I am illiterate, of that. I do not know what the law says about that. If the law says,
just broadly, yes, you're saying, you're not an expert in that space, but just broadly, by instinct, do you think by instinct a serving governor should be running a business simultaneously abroad and running a secret account offshore? Do you think, is that suspicious to you, just as a standalone thing? Is that suspicious?
For me, another thing again is this, one man. I do not know whether it is prohibited for me as a businessman. And when you look at his interview, he said he resigned. He resigned from all these businesses that he jointly owned that were abroad. Most of them were in the UK. One was in UK, as he said. I think another one were too. So he said that he resigned, taking charge, as he was also the executive governor of Anambra State. But he didn't see that as any problem or an offense, chargeable or required to be prosecuted. So I will allow the law and the investigators, to go on, with their investigation. Wherever he is found wanting and culpable, if the culpability is, identified, you must face it. But this should also extend to other people, so that a particular tribe will not feel, or group of political, opponents will not feel that they are being witch hunt. Because we have had cases before this particular one piled in there. In fact, when people were even jailed outside the shores of Nigeria on terrorism sponsoring, but the government has just, waved it off the face of Nigerian people and continue to chase this particular one. So I believe that justice must be done. But once justice is not done, it's not seen to be done, people will revolt. And you will not blame people for, agitating. Why is it us? So that is what I believe. That's what I see there.
All right. I think my daughter disagrees with you, Vin. Say hello to Vin. Say hello to Vin, Uncle Vin.
Hi dear, how are you?
My daughter disagrees with you. Oh yeah, go run out.
Oh, she's a beautiful girl.
Should Peter Obi be jailed? Yes. Should Peter Obi be jailed? Yes. Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. We are in a democracy. We are in a democracy. Everybody has their rights, you know. Even my little daughter there too has the right of her own opinion.
All right.
You know?
So my daughter feels Peter Obi should be jailed. So there we are. Then lock him up. That's just all I
That's
say.
the
You know,
key.
because so there we are. Let's move from there then, Vin, and go to now Babagana Kingibe. So now when we talk about the Buhari cabal, this is usually one of the names that have been mentioned pretty much since 2015 when Buhari came into government. So one of the people pulling Buhari's strings, and this is what he had to say in Lagos. Nigeria's unity negotiable, just as marriage is negotiable. Buhari is appointed envoy to charge Kingibe. So Kingibe now saying that, yes, Nigeria is negotiable, you know, and if you're not satisfied with Nigeria, then you should be able to voice it. But then he then sounded that note of caution to the people agitating for secession that yes, if you can secede if you want, but just to realize, and I'm sure you do know, that you are not then going to cut that piece of land that you are calling Biafra. You're not going to clip it off and move it to next to United Kingdom. You're not going to move it next to Ghana. It's still going to stay within that geographical space called Nigeria, and you still have to continue to live in association with the people that you're looking to distance yourself from. So Nigeria negotiable, but a note of caution to Nnamdi Kanu and his merry men. So what says you?
I have known Babagana Kingibe when he was a foreign minister while I was in Liberia fighting war. That was 1994-95. I think that was during Abacha's regime. And I've listened to him when, you know, when he makes some decisive, statements and some utterances, although there is no human being created on this earth that will open his or her, annals that you will not see any particular offense creator. He has been on the long run, talking about the good leadership that Nigeria is necessary, that Nigeria, engage in, involved in good leadership in Nigeria. And looking at what is happening in Nigeria today, it is obvious that everywhere heaven had let loose. Everybody is on the edge of finding one thing or the other to hold on to, and the indivisibility or the what do they call it, indivisibility or whatever terminology they are using concerning Nigeria is a no to me. Because even when Nigeria was formed, the amalgamation 1914, I don't think it was everybody that agreed. And if what we are doing today was done that time, so many people will not agree to be, into that marriage. Okay, so that marriage has never worked from the beginning. In fact, I do not know the moral stand of individuals that would tell you that from 1960. When they gained independent and became a republic 1963 till today, we have not experienced any good leadership apart from the First Republic. Few of the First Republic.
But to the second half of what he said, Vin, do you feel that these agitators they have the full concept of exactly what they are agitating for? Because of course, Yoruba nation is one thing. Because Yoruba nation, it actually straddles the coastline, so you can easily carve it out because it fades into Benin Republic, Togo, etc. But Biafra land, especially Igbo land, is at the epicenter, and I think we went through the Nigerian map just the other day. It's at the epicenter of Nigeria because it is surrounded by spaces outside of their influence and their agitation. So if they get that Igbo land, essentially, it will still be nested. It's a bit like what is it, Botswana or some country like that is nested within another. Is it Lesotho that's nested within another?
No,
Yeah.
Rwanda.
So it will still be nested within a country called Nigeria. So that is the
Rwanda.
thing. You'll still be
Yeah.
surrounded by a country called Nigeria. So
Okay,
this is what Kingibe is saying to you, that you are not going to cut the land off and move it next to the United Kingdom and say you are now part of Britain.
We understand. You see, one man, we understand all this, let me just say, change of words and use of terminologies and where you are space. We've understand this. If I've been to Senegambia before, have you seen the map of Gambia in Senegal?
No, I have not.
It is surrounded. I think Lesotho too. Lesotho, the same thing. If you look at the maps, would that stop them from being an independent nation? Look, let me tell you, let's get one thing first. I was an advocate of Nigerian unity. Even you, one man, once in your life, you have you were let me say, an advocate of the unity of Nigeria. But what suddenly changed in all these things? People begin to feel that a particular group, tries to lord themselves, make other people slaves for themselves, treat them in a way and teach them in a talk to them in a way, in a language they understand. That is what is bringing all this problem within the country. If Nigeria is good today, my brother, nobody will ever support any.
Oh, you are breaking up a bit, Vin.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. But Vin, Kingibe's argument that you cannot Kingibe's argument is exactly that.
Live on isolation.
No. His argument is that once upon a time, we all lived in harmony, or just in tolerance of each other, if not in harmony. So what he's saying is that rather than look to secede, what changed then for people to feel this strongly is what needs to be addressed, rather than as a result of that change, you then wanting to secede. Because looking to secede, it doesn't really give you much. If you look at Enugu, Ebonyi, Anambra, Imo, and Abia, which are the core Igbo states, and because, of course, the South may certainly not want to go with them. They are surrounded along the coastlines by Benue rivers, Akwa Ibom, Cross Rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, etc. So if you get that Igbo nation, you will still have it within a superstructure called Nigeria. So you will not be able to cut out Igbo land and then move it to the UK or anything like that. This is essentially what he is saying.
One man, that is not an excuse for me, for people. What we should, look at is the treatment of these people that have decided to tolerate each other from the beginning. What has been the benefit of this, tolerance by these people? What has been the benefit? The Oduduwa, the Yoruba people, what have been their benefit of this tolerance? What have been the benefit of the Biafrans' tolerance in that marriage, that they are so much keen? Those people that are benefiting from the dealings of this forced marriage, would they let go? Would they let go? Did Nigeria started canvassing for restructuring today? Why are they holding back? When you look at the Sovereign National Conference, which both the one Obasanjo and the one this man GEJ had, what were the primary? Which people walked out? Which people opted out? If those recommendations were kept and introduced into the Nigerian system, will you see people running helter-skelter today, finding ways and where they should belong to? No, they will not, because this particular, because it suits people that the structure of Nigeria is beneficial to a certain group of people. That is why they are holding on to it. They don't want to let go. Take, for instance, the VAT issue. You say you don't want alcohol beverages to be sold in your state, and when these alcohol beverages are sold in the South, they will compile the VAT earnings from it and send to you, and you swallow it. So who is cheating who? Who is fooling who here? This is my own opinion. This is exactly what we see on daily basis going on. You see the killings all over. You see people that are empowered to carry assault rifles, and you that is living in your ancestral land, you don't have power to defend yourself. And when they attack you, the police people will not come. In fact, when you even summon the courage to at least defend yourself or chase them, then the state actors will come and begin to whip people like they did. Is it in Ekiti or in Ondo State or in Enugu or Ebonyi? You see, these are some of the things, these are the anomalies. For him now to come out and say, oh, when you leave, you have to be within this way. Yes, it's good to be there. It is good to be, separate from a particular entity that does not want you to exist. Okay? That does not want you to exist than to stay in it.
All right. Thank you, Vin. So, Vin, finally now, through this space now, Buhari has now budgeted and approved close to 5 billion naira now for the purchase of a technology that will enable his administration monitor people's WhatsApp messages and private phone calls, etc. So now we keep saying that we're being threatened by a police state, but I'm saying now that we're firmly ensconced in a police state now. So WhatsApp messages now to be monitored. This, of course, now to be used as a tool to weigh down upon and disappear people that are critical of this rather brutish regime. So what are you then making of that now? Buhari now to be monitoring people's WhatsApp messages from frying pan to hellfire.
Yeah, one man, it has not been encouraging what this administration is doing to Nigerians. It is appalling. It is disgusting to me, because the same freedom of expression and association, protest, and so on that made you to come to power, that Femi Falana defended Dream pro bono without payment, is the same thing that he is, and he won. In fact, the judicial system that time in Nigeria even added more, salt to the whole thing to make it taste better for him that time. Today, you have gained the seat and you want to stifle the same thing that you campaign against and won. What kind of logic is that? There is no. Do you know how much that amount of money could have, done in building? Let me just say, semi-factories. That is why anytime I speak here, I always lay emphasis on what, the environment where I am. Here, we are building one district, one factory.
You see,
one
it won't
village,
be complete.
one dam.
It won't be complete if we here in Ghana. Here in Ghana. Oh, yeah. Here in Ghana.
One man, please. Yeah. One man, please. Let me flow. No, I know that. You see, one man, look. In countries where you have good leaders with good policies, they churn out policies that are productive, not policies that are counterproductive. We've been building factories with the little money that we have. But in Nigeria, you are releasing money to put up spy walls that is going to monitor, the activities of your people. That is narcissism. That is even worse than narcissism. Give people job. Create job for people. Don't make their life miserable. Create job for people and let people get, work doing. Let the private, encourage private sector to come in. Give them electricity. Give them water. Give them good roads. Give them good roads. Give them good hospital and good educational facilities. These are what they're not monitoring devices or platforms to check what they are doing. If the government of Muhammadu Buhari was doing well, will anybody begin to talk too much or go to social media and begin to talk? That is my position. That is unwarranted, and it is an act. This is pure dictatorship. That's how I see it. It's right. Pure dictatorship, and I'm not in support of this kind of tyrannical system of government that is bent on putting Nigerians on the ground instead of elevating them. Is this how he's going to elevate over 100 million people out of poverty? Is this the policy?
By
Is it
wiping them out, by gunning them down. Maybe that is his policy. It will elevate them out of poverty by with AK-47.
My brother, you see, by putting out policies that is going to, in fact, violate their rights, the rights that have already been violated. You can't go on the street now and protest freely without being shot. You can't speak against the government without being targeted and arrested. Once you are targeted, once you speak anything against the government, then you become a bad person to the government, and they will be calling for your head. What kind of government is that? We are looking for progressiveness. We are not looking for retrogressiveness. That is, we want Nigeria to progress, so that when we come there, we'll feel that yes, there is, leaders, good leaders in it, not this myopic and the ethnocentric, situated leaders they have there. It is bad. It is horrible. And I believe that majority, overwhelming Nigerians must resist this kind of tyrannical system of government that is bent on dealing with them more instead of, helping them in their daily activities.
All right. Thank you, Vin. Good to see you back, Vin. So also good to see you back, UK. UK, are you with us?
Yes. 1 month.
Good to see you, UK. Or at least good to hear from you. I keep saying good to see you, UK, but I'm not really seeing you. Am I? I'm hearing from you. So good to hear from you. So let's hear from you on this. Your man now, Peter Obi, the one of the infamous, I forgot that I had $15 million fame. So he now been invited by the EFCC now to come and explain exactly how somebody forgets that they had $15 million tucked away in some money laundering haven somewhere. So EFCC now to the attention of Peter Obi now rather to the attention of the EFCC. What are you making of that, Peter Obi, EFCC headquarters?
Well, what I want to say is, if EFCC invite him, I mean, it's good, because that is what they set EFCC. That's why they set up that organization to investigate any corruption. But the only thing I don't like, we have several cases like that, which they have not even bring into attention. For example, let's talk about those guys who are sponsoring Boko Haram. Nobody have brought them to the book, or nobody have even invited them. If not this one David guy who make a very comprehensive details where they are, even bring out their addresses. Nobody have gone there to query them for anything. I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't really make any sense, because they are the bigger ones who are there doing harm and killing people or creating more havoc. But that's not to say that they shouldn't invite P2B, because he's one of them, he's among them.
Mala Buhari is calling for the jailing of everybody on that Pandora paper. So Peter Obi now almost certainly be in the next room to Nnamdi Kanu, EFCC.
Even not even Peter, even the Madam Buhari. I mean, they have their own money in Chase Bank in New York. So all of them should be jailed. Not even him that is even talking. All of them, they need to go and tell Nigerian people where they put all those money. Both the past and the present, both the past administration and the present administration. So all of them, they need to march down there, to save, and which we know that it can never happen. It will never happen.
I'm just surprised, UK, at the names on this list, because an overwhelming majority of them, they are southern names. So instinctually, you would say that, oh yes, this is the usual thing when they are just going after the south, trying to, even though the looters, the main real looters are northerners, people like Babangida, Buhari himself, etc. But this is an international expose, and these are the names. Imagine Peter Obi, so from the north, Mohammed Bello Kello, and then former minister and serving senator Stella Odua, and then it goes on, Bagudu of Kebbi State, Governor Boyega Oyetola of Osun State, Bola Tinubu, of course, you don't mention corruption without Tinubu. Dapo Abiodun, Sambo Dasuki, Leno, Adesanya. So a lot of southern names on it, but certainly the totality of it almost opposition names. So those are the names that Buhari is calling for the jailing of. What says you?
Well, like as I said, it's like they are just, I don't know what to say, because all of them, they are involved now. I mean, you can't how will I say, I mean, when one finger, gets oil now, it will reach every other. So for the fact they have mentioned P2B, they should also bring out themselves too. I mean, they're into it now. Everybody knows, So not because they are in power. That doesn't mean that they are not corporate. They are not corporate.
UK, can I just tell one man something here, please?
Okay.
One man, there are reports of some sort of huge embezzlement going on in NNPC as we speak today. And that ministry is headed by the president himself. What has the EFCC got to do with, are they not supposed to investigate this, corruption scandal that is going on there as we speak? That's my question, bro.
Well, that's the thing, though. But who is going to investigate Buhari is the question, This is a guy that should have been jailed since the 80s when he looted 2-point-something billion dollars when he was the Minister of Petroleum under the then Obasanjo military administration. This guy has been looting the country for. There are some people above the law,
as you know. It's horrible.
As you know, there are some people just above the law in Nigeria. Buhari being one of them, Babangida another, Obasanjo, or the usual suspects. They are a law unto themselves. But thank you. UK, let me move you now on to Baba Gana Kingibe, who is saying he's the first real voice amongst that category of persons that is deviating from their traditional stance that Nigeria is non-negotiable. So he has now gone to Lagos to say that Nigeria is negotiable, but he adds a proviso to it that you are agitating to secede, that if you have your secession, you don't then get to carve out your land and take it to the United Kingdom or go park it next to Ghana. You'll still be living amongst the people you are looking to secede from. So Kingibe says Nigeria is negotiable. What are you making of that development, UK?
Well, I mean, in everything in this world is negotiable, because we are not growing smaller now, we are growing bigger. One thing in Nigeria is that they don't plan ahead of the time. So that's the only problem we have been having. Because had it been the government applying ahead of the time, all these things we are seeing wouldn't have been occurring, I mean, like for me, it is good that, I mean, living in diversity, there's always strength. For Nigeria only is a cause, So for that reason, and one, they are not even doing the thing that they're supposed to do, because in a country like Nigeria, there should have been development all throughout Nigeria so that nobody will be, if people have job to do, you won't see anybody have time to start agitating. You won't see, I mean, all this criminality will call them, because I know Nigeria, for sure, truly Nigerian people are not troublesome like other part of the world.
UK, that's a big point that you made, and I've often wanted to open that space of conversation. All of this money that they used to repress people, that they used to oppress people, that they used to hold people in situation. If those money were actually used, as Vin was just saying, just to build a factory, have some major form of employment in every local government area in Nigeria, people will be too busy going to work and then coming to family life to be able to be sitting down thinking that I want Yoruba nation.
One man, let me tell you, if everybody is working in Nigeria, all these politicians, nobody will even have time to worship them. Like me, I'm in US.
They won't even know who the president is.
I'm in USF. Even sometimes, I mean, where I work is just like 5 miles or 6 miles from White House. You know, I don't even go there because one, I don't even have time, and there's nothing, taking me there except maybe if I'm driving around that area, then I'll pass. This is White House. All I think now is how to better my future. Like everything about my future, I'm building up so that in time to come, when I retire in this country, I'm not gonna beg both here in Nigeria. If I go to Nigeria, I'll be a big boss. I can even have up to 10 men serving me. So I'm trying to build those things so that when time comes, because it is the end that matters, not even the beginning. It's the end, because as we are growing, if you don't build your future the way it should, it's when you grow old is when you know what life is, because you have to gather while you are young. Gather everything you have to gather. It is now you are young that you can do everything. So the only thing I will tell the government to do with this your platform is that the government should try and create job for people, because when people are busy, it won't be hearing anybody, because now there's some things that will be going on. You will tell me to go and do protests like in America here. Sometimes I might not even have the time because I'm working.
We are busy now, and you have to wake up the next.
Yes.
Imagine you see all these young people that they are saying to gather for NSAS.
Yes.
On a Wednesday. If they know that they have to go to work on Thursday, they will say, okay, I will watch it on television.
Yes.
It is because of the environment now that people are the way they are, and they spend as much as will be needed to improve the environment to repress the people. So why not use that money to improve the environment? Then you have no need to repress the people.
Yes, because everybody are doing rank adede. Everybody are doing rank adede, because nothing. I mean, they don't even have something to eat. Because when you have something to eat or when you have something to do, you can't be thinking otherwise. Like, let me tell you the problem that even make the Igbo people want to go. Yeah, one, because if let's say if the government, after that Biafra war, like the government started building, like I know in Aba, there used to be a lot of factory in Aba. During that time, people were working, nobody even talk about the Biafra. But as time goes on, in this last 20s now, I begin to, when I go to Aba, things is not like the way it used to be. Some of the factories are locked down, like even the Liver Brother, and about textile mill, all those things have shut down. I begin to ask, what is going on?
And the rest of them,
what is going on? And that is why they have so many Igbo people that is not even working. So when they call for this Biafra of 13 now, everybody stand up now, because people are not working now. So what do you want them to do? So they'll say, so since I'm not doing, let me join this group. Before, when Aba used to be Aba, you see so many Igbo people working. Even if you call during that time, if you call that kind of thing, nobody will even listen to you. You see what I'm saying?
It's just amazing, isn't it? It's just, know.
That's one of the points. That's one of the points I'm trying to make. Because if let's say go back to Aba, build those factories now and put boys into work, you see everything will come down. But for the fact they haven't done it and they don't want to do it, man, one man. So everybody
and the amount of money that they are using to hold those boys down, to beat them down, to point guns at them, to oppress them, that money, half of it will build those factories, and they would not need to beat those boys down. So that's just the Nigerian situation. It's just bad leadership.
As soon as you shut those factories now, look now, if they are having 5,000 people now working there now, everybody will go. They'll be sitting doing nothing.
And there's multiplier effect though, because the mamas that will line up for their lunchtime feeding, they feed off that economy. The people that supply the mama something for food, they feed off that economy. So there's the multiplier effect of that money trickling into. So it's just basic stuff, but they just think that just gun them down and steal the oil. That's just the Nigerian system. Gun them down and steal the oil.
We don't, Nigeria don't think. I mean, the people that is leading us, they don't think ahead, because look at a country that the population is growing. So you have to plan a way to build up things that will make those to sustain those population, so that in case anything happens, there will be a kind of cushion effect. but we don't have that cushion effect. So since we don't have that cushion effect, so the problem will keep going, until they begin to do the needful. Because if they don't do the needful, people will keep talking. Problem will keep piling,
You know that growing population that you just mentioned, UK. Ola often comes here. You know Ola now. He's one of the regulars. He often comes here to insist that that population in itself is the strength of the country. Because if you gainfully employ, of course, not all 200 million will be gainfully employed, but if you skill and facilitate for that population, the production value of that population alone, if it's constructively engaged, is bigger than oil. Imagine a working population of 200 million that is constructively engaged, and you're talking about, you just park the oil to one side and the people will be the resource.
Okay. Let me give an example. Okay, you see how Nigerian build roads. You see the population is growing. Sometimes when I enter that Ibadan expressway, instead of them to expand that road, since people have not started building that place, to get, because as time goes on, that road itself will begin to constrict. Because as the population is building, people will start building on the side of the road. But for now that nobody is there, let them open up that place.
That place should be 4 lanes either way. Yes, 8-lane road. Yes. 4 lanes. Then you dedicate 2 lanes to heavy trucks and whatnot, and you dedicate 2 lanes to free flow. It's not magic now. It's not anything.
The
you don't
country
need a brain even.
Do you know that the Nigeria is still a virgin country? Do you know that? Nigeria is
still yes, 70 years on. This is why the Chinese are rushing in.
Yeah, it's still a virgin country. So I don't know who is giving our government advice, because there are so many things to do with the population in that country. So it is time for them to renegotiate. It is time for them to bring expertise who can do the job. Even if you're on top, but bring people who will plan and they will execute. So that the problem to minimize the tension and the problem in that country. So if they don't do all those things, believe me, one man will still be stagnant. We won't move. We won't go backward. We won't go forward. We'll still be there. We'll just be there. So that is what is really going on in the society now.
Oh, okay. UK, rather than do that, they are doing this. Buhari now approves close to 5 billion naira to buy technology now to monitor people's WhatsApp messages, telephone calls, etc. So really the conversation that we were having, that rather than use this money for good, we are using it money for repression. So WhatsApp messages now to be monitored by Malam Buhari. What says you?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, that is not even the problem. Why don't they use that money to monitor the terrorists or the bandits? If they use it to monitor them now and start, capturing them, that would make more sense now than to use it for the common citizen. Because the real issue we have now is the insecurity now. They should use it. They should budget it in insecurity, in order to capture all those people who are killing and maiming the people. Instead of going after the common man, because the common man will always talk now, whether good or bad. There will always be criticism in anything as a government now. Whether you do it good or you do it bad, because even if you do it good, some people will say, no, you didn't do it like this. It's supposed to be like this, So no matter how you do things, people will not always satisfy. But for our own issue now, our own state of nation now, let them use that money and invest in for the insecurity that is wreaking the havoc of that nation. That's all I would say.
Oh, all right, thank you, UK. I'll take just a very quick comment from Charlie Boy, and then a round off. Charles, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good to hear from you, Charles. Just a quick one then.
Charles, how are you? Charles, how are you?
Good.
Good.
So a quick one from you, Charles. Your man Peter Obi now is not now just in EFCC offices answering questions about these monies that he has tucked away all over the place. Are the EFCC right to call him in, your man Peter Obi?
Yes, I think he should go to jail because he lied.
Wow, he's an Igbo man,
Yeah,
you don't know he's an Igbo
he's
man.
corrupt. He lied. He pretended
Wow.
he was clean, but see, he lied. He goes to jail. He should tell the truth. Stop lying. He stole the money. He said the truth.
All right. Okay. And the idea of Buhari monitoring people's WhatsApp messages. What are you making of that? Buhari wants to monitor people's WhatsApp messages. Oh, he's left. All right. So thank you, Charlie Boy. Thank you, Vin, and thank you, UK. So thank you, gentlemen. Just a quick session today, probably the shortest we've had so far. So I'll leave you here. Carry conversation on within comment section, but here I say peace.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yeah.